You are lying in bed, completely still, and your body is acting like something is hunting you. Your heart feels too loud, your stomach is tight, your breathing is shallow, your mind keeps walking into every possible future and returning with bad news. There is no predator in the room, no storm breaking through the walls, no rival group outside the door, no immediate danger you can point to and say, "There, that is the thing." And somehow your nervous system still behaves like danger has arrived early. That is the strange cruelty of anxiety. Fear makes sense when the threat is in front of you, a snake on the path, a stranger too close, a branch snapping in the dark. Anxiety is different. Anxiety is fear with imagination. It does not wait for the danger to appear. It starts building the danger in advance, filling empty space with possibilities, warnings, mistakes, losses, rejection, illness, failure, and all the little ways tomorrow might go wrong. So did early humans feel anxiety like you? They did not worry about unread messages, school exams, rent, comments, deadlines, traffic, or whether one awkward sentence from 3 years ago secretly ruined their entire personality. But they had their own version of the same ancient alarm. What if the food runs out? What if the child gets sick? What if the group is angry? What if the noise outside camp is not wind? What if the sky changes and the cold comes early? What if the pain in the wound means something deeper is wrong? Your ancestors lived in a world where noticing danger before it fully arrived could keep a body alive. A little anxiety could make someone check the shadows, repair a shelter, watch the group mood, save food, listen harder at night, or wake others before teeth entered the firelight. The problem is that the same system that once scanned for predators can still scan your modern life for threat. Your body may be safe, but your ancient brain keeps asking the oldest question it knows. What if something is coming? Here is the reframe. Anxiety is not proof that you are weak. It is proof that your brain was built to care about danger before danger becomes visible. Fear reacts to the thing in front of you. Anxiety reacts to the thing that might happen next. It is the mind leaning forward into the future, trying to predict what could hurt you, separate you, starve you, shame you, or leave you unprepared when the world changes. For early humans, that kind of prediction was useful. The person who worried about the dark sound might check the edge of camp. The person who worried about the weather might gather more fuel before the cold came. The person who worried about tension in the group might repair a relationship before rejection became real. Anxiety could be uncomfortable, but it could also make the body prepare. Watch more closely, move sooner, store food, stay near others, do not ignore the small sign. That does not mean ancient anxiety felt exactly like yours. Your brain now points the same old system at modern problems. Exams, money, messages, social mistakes, health searches, uncertain futures, and things that cannot be solved by throwing a spear or staying near the fire. The alarm still works, but the world changed around it. A deadline can light up the same body that once prepared for a predator. A social rejection can feel like a threat to belonging. A vague future can feel like something moving in the dark. So the real question is not whether early humans had anxiety. A species that survived by predicting danger almost certainly had some version of it. The real question is why that ancient alarm still rings so loudly in a world where many threats are invisible, delayed, social, abstract, and impossible to outrun. To understand ancient anxiety, you have to put worry back into a world where uncertainty was not background noise. It was the shape of daily life. Your ancestors could not check a weather app, store months of food in a freezer, lock a door, call a doctor, or search symptoms at midnight and immediately regret becoming literate. They had bodies, memory, other people, and a landscape that could change faster than comfort allowed. The ancient world gave the nervous system many reasons to look ahead. A quiet forest could mean safety, or it could mean that something nearby had made the birds stop calling. A cloudy sky could mean ordinary rain, or the beginning of a cold stretch that would make food harder to find. A small wound could heal, or swell, heat up, and become a problem the group did not know how to stop. A shortage of food could be temporary, or it could mean days of weakness. A tense look from another person could be nothing, or the first sign that your place in the group was becoming less secure. That is the important part. Ancient anxiety was not only about predators, it was about prediction in every direction. Weather, hunger, sickness, injury, status, rejection, childbirth, children, fire, water, strangers, animals, and the mood of the group all mattered. The body had to keep asking what might happen next because waiting for certainty could be too late. So early humans probably did not experience anxiety as a modern diagnosis written in a file. But the raw ingredients were there: uncertainty, vigilance, imagined danger, social pressure, and a body preparing for problems that had not fully arrived. In that world, The anxious person was not always broken. Sometimes they were the one who noticed the small sign before everyone else did. The evidence begins with the difference between immediate fear and uncertain threat. Neuroscience research describes anxiety as a response to threats that are distant, unclear, or not yet fully present. In studies of uncertain threat, the brain recruits systems involved in anticipation, vigilance, and defensive preparation, including the extended amygdala and related threat circuits. In plain English, anxiety is not only fear after danger appears. It is the brain preparing because danger might appear. Then there is what Randolph Ness called the smoke detector principle. A smoke alarm is annoying when it goes off for burnt toast, but that false alarm is cheap compared with missing a real fire. Evolved defenses can work the same way. Anxiety may fire too early or too often because, in survival terms, a false alarm is usually less costly than ignoring a real threat. Your ancestor who worried about the shadow and found nothing lost a little sleep. The one who ignored the shadow when it was something alive may have lost far more. The evidence also points to the body. Threat processing involves the amygdala, prefrontal cortex, autonomic arousal, attention, and stress chemistry. When the system turns on, the body prepares before the mind has a complete explanation. Heart faster, muscles ready, senses sharpened, attention narrowed. That is useful if a predator is near, food is scarce, or a conflict in the group is about to become dangerous. And social danger mattered too. Research on social safety and exclusion shows that the human brain treats social bonds as biologically important, not optional decoration. For ancient humans, rejection, isolation, and loss of support could threaten food, protection, childcare, and survival. Put all of that together, and anxiety begins to look less like a modern glitch and more like an ancient forecast system. Sometimes wrong, often uncomfortable, but built to notice danger before danger fully arrives. The mechanism is prediction under pressure. Anxiety begins when the brain takes small pieces of information and uses them to build a possible future. A sound outside camp, a strange look from someone in the group, a pain in the body, a sky that feels too heavy with weather. None of these things has to be danger yet. But the anxious brain does not wait for proof. It asks what could happen if the sign is real. Then the body prepares before the story is finished. The heart speeds up to move blood. Breathing changes. Muscles tighten. Attention narrows. Sleep becomes lighter. The mind keeps returning to the same problem because, to the ancient system, repeated thinking can feel like preparation. If danger is coming, you want to be ready before it arrives. If food may run out, you want to plan before hunger begins. If the group mood is turning against you, you want to repair the bond before rejection becomes exile. The problem is that this system is not built for comfort. It is built for survival. It prefers false alarms over silence. It would rather make you check the shadows 10 times and find nothing than let you ignore the one sound that mattered. That was useful in a world where danger had teeth, cold, infection, hunger, or social consequences. The anxious body was trying to keep you ahead of the next threat. But the same mechanism becomes strange in modern life. Your body can react to an email, an exam, a bill, a memory, or an uncertain future as if something is moving outside the firelight. The trigger changed, the machinery did not. Anxiety is the ancient brain using old survival tools to solve problems that often cannot be fought, fled from, or fixed by staring harder into the dark. So picture a person awake inside an ancient camp while the others sleep close enough to become one dark shape around the fire. The flames are low, the night is not silent. It clicks, shifts, breathes, and moves in the grass beyond the light. Maybe it is nothing. Maybe it is wind. Maybe it is an animal passing at the edge of the camp. But the person lying there cannot let the sound remain empty. The mind keeps returning to it, building futures out of fragments. They sit up slowly. Everyone else looks calm, and that almost makes the worry feel foolish. But the body is already alert. The ears keep searching. The eyes keep measuring the darkness. The hand moves toward a stone, not because danger is certain, but because uncertainty has become too loud to ignore. If the sound is nothing, the person loses sleep. If the sound is teeth, the group may need those few extra seconds. So they watch, they listen, they look toward the place where the grass moved. Maybe they wake one other person. Maybe the second person is annoyed at first, then hears it too. A branch cracks, a shape shifts outside the firelight. The anxiety that felt like private weakness becomes shared attention. The group stirs. Someone feeds the fire. Someone picks up a spear. The night does not have to become disaster because one nervous system noticed the possible future early. And maybe nothing happens. Maybe the sound fades. Maybe the anxious person is teased in the morning for fearing a bush with excellent timing. But even then, the system did its job in the way evolution often works. not by being right every time, but by making the group ready before certainty arrived. Ancient anxiety was not comfortable. It was a body refusing to wait until danger had a face. Here is the twist. Anxiety did not evolve to make you feel calm, happy, or reasonable. It evolved to make you ready. That is why it can feel so unfair. The alarm does not ask whether you are enjoying your life. It asks whether something might be wrong. It does not care if the warning ruins your evening, interrupts your sleep, or makes you look strange for checking the same sound twice. Its job was never comfort. Its job was survival, and survival does not require perfect accuracy. It often rewards useful overreaction. The person who worried too early might waste energy, lose sleep, or annoy the group, but the person who never worried until danger was obvious might not have enough time to act. In that ancient equation, being wrong in the direction of caution was often safer than being calm in the direction of disaster. Anxiety became a system that would rather send 10 false warnings than miss the one warning that mattered. That is the part modern life makes painful. Your ancient alarm system is still trying to protect you, but it now scans a world full of abstract threats: reputation, money, health, exams, messages, silence, uncertainty, and futures that cannot be seen clearly. There is no leopard in the room, but there may be a deadline. There is no rival group outside the firelight, but there may be rejection. The body responds with old tools because those are the tools it has. So the twist is this: anxiety is not evidence that you are weak. It is evidence that your nervous system inherited a survival strategy that was designed to notice danger before certainty arrived. The problem is not that the alarm exists. The problem is that the modern world gives it endless shadows to interpret. So the next time anxiety appears while nothing is visibly chasing you, try to notice the age of the system before you hate yourself for having it. Your body may be sitting in a room, holding a phone, staring at a message, a bill, a test date, a health worry, or a future that has not happened yet. But somewhere underneath the modern surface, the old alarm is still doing what it was shaped to do, scanning the dark ahead and asking what might be coming. That does not mean the alarm is always right. Ancient systems can misread modern signals. A quiet reply can feel like rejection. A deadline can feel like a predator. A small symptom can become a story about disaster. A room full of people can still make your body search for social danger. Anxiety can take a tiny clue and build a whole forest of possible threats around it. The pain is real, even when the prediction is wrong. But maybe understanding the system changes the way you speak to yourself. You are not weak because your body prepares early. You are not broken because uncertainty feels heavy. You are carrying a brain that survived by imagining danger before danger had finished arriving. That same ability helped your ancestors check the shadows, save food, repair bonds, watch wounds, wake the group, and live through a world that did not give warnings politely. The challenge now is learning when to listen and when to calm the alarm down. Sometimes anxiety is useful information. Sometimes it is burnt toast setting off an ancient smoke detector. Either way, it comes from a part of you trying, clumsily and loudly, to protect you. So when your heart races in a safe room, remember this: your modern life may not contain the old predators, but your body still carries the watchman from the firelight. It is still looking ahead, still asking what if, still trying to keep you alive even when the only thing approaching is tomorrow.